So we reached the last principle. It's the eighth principle. It's about the spiritual practice. Now, the other seven principles are, you can say, preparation to make your spiritual practice more efficient and enhanced. That's the whole reason why I wanted to create this playlist. There's a lot of spiritual teachings out there where they say, just do this meditation, do this yoga, do some breathing, that's it. And for a lot of people, it doesn't work. It's like, what about the other parts of my life? What about how I eat? What about preserving my sexual energy? What about the company I keep, the environment, addictions, attachments, all that? Like, do I got to look at any of that, or it just doesn't matter? I just meditate and breathe, and okay, like, is that really? See, I had to look at all that. If I could have just meditated everything away, I'd have done that. It's easier. I like easy. I like fastest, easiest, bestest. That's my slogan. It didn't work though. I had to address this human body, this human form. I had to create and do things that create a conducive environment so that then the spiritual practice is more efficient and it could actually work. So that's why I made this playlist with all these principles. So now when people say, what do I got to do to raise my frequency? What do I got to do to feel better? Oh, I relapsed on my addiction, or my life sucks. What can I do? Boom, I send them the playlist. This is what you do. That's why I made it, because I can't keep writing the same thing over and over again. And then if people have specific individual questions, more tailored to you as an individual that you want to go over, then you can do a consultation. And then it's more creative and we can look more, on personal level. But the main principles are here. This is what you do. And if you intuitively can figure this out for yourself, then good. So spiritual practice. You got to find the right one for you, for your temperament. Some people are more devotional by nature. They feel more to worship like God in form, you could say. So there's the formless essence, God, and then there's God in form. Same God, but okay, because it appeals to different temperaments and characters, etc. Some people, Christians or Muslims or Buddhists or any of the religions, they're more devotional by nature, and so they turn their attention and thoughts on this God in form. It's the same God, and it's great. I like both. I like the devotional, and I also like to worship the formless. The formless is everywhere, including inside here. So then your Advaita teachings or self-inquiry teachings, it's more about recognizing, you can say, this formless God essence that's here right now, as a sense of just presence. It's a vibration of presence. It doesn't have a form. You put your attention on that. That can be your meditation. And then if you want to pray also, you can do that. Or if you only want to pray, then just only pray. There's no standard here. The main point of all these spiritual practices or religions is to dissolve this individual ego self, to be merged with, you can say, the absolute or the universe or God. You see? Because that's the law of evolution, and we're all going to get there at some point. It can take lifetimes. But if you're already tuned and resonating with these kind of channels, then it doesn't have to take long. Otherwise, because you wouldn't be resonating with this. So I'd have to say the spiritual practice is the most important principle out of them all, which is why I wanted to list these other principles, because it makes it easier to do this. Because you want results. You want to feel the experience of awakening more and more and more. That's what a spiritual practice should give you, but don't judge it. The mind wants to judge it. Don't do that. You do your spiritual practice, whatever it is, and leave the results to God. But I found through my own personal experience, when I was a dopamine addict, and when I'm losing my sexual energy, and when I'm eating a bunch of heavy, hard to digest foods, when I'm running on the street in situations and with people that aren't really becoming for me or raising my vibration, and when I'm hanging too much in the urban jungle doing all that stuff and staying up all night, not sleeping right, and watching violent and sexual movies, I've found that, number one, I didn't even feel like doing my spiritual practice, and two, if I really made myself do it, I wasn't reaping the fruits that I am and would have had I had these other principles more active in my life. Again, so that's why I wanted to share on those other things, so that it can make your spiritual practice easier. Anything else? Look, I have this other channel, Spiritual Renaissance. You can say, so that channel's almost totally devoted to my spiritual practice, which is more along the lines of Advaita, or non-duality, self-inquiry, which is realizing our formless nature inside ourselves. So that channel's for that. This channel is more about earthbound work, diet, and certain practical things we can do that prepare us so that our spiritual practice is enhanced. And also now I'll probably get into talking about more earthbound things like shadow work and trauma, and how to deal with that. And because we got to look at both sides. You can't just only do, like I said at the beginning of the video, a spiritual practice. Not if we're not at that stage yet. If we have these other things, that we want. You might have a mental imbalance disorder. I have a whole playlist on that. You can watch that. You might have certain hidden traumas you're not aware of, that it's affecting your life and your reactions with people and everything. And in your spiritual practice, you feel imbalanced. That this trauma or these shadow that are hiding inside's making you restless, and so you want those things to be dissolved. So, because you can feel like that's blocking you. It's like, how do I do that? What do I got to do? So this is what the channel's for, and I'm gonna try to make videos on that. Leave me any questions you have if there's something specific that you're dealing with, so I can get a consensus, a collective idea of what where you're at, and then I can make videos addressing that. And if you're a girl, you can see my channel, Divine Femininity. So we go over that specifically for girls. We deal with girl stuff, girl issues. If you're a guy, go see my channel, Beyond the Alchemy. And that's for guys who are practicing semen retention, and we get into that over there. You see, so you do all those things, and then you come to the Spiritual Renaissance channel when you're primed, ready to really look deeply at our true nature. And so that's all. The channels are the same, really. I just had to make them different because otherwise the algorithm gets confused. You have to have certain niches. Then the algorithm's like, oh, I understand, for women, oh, semen retention, oh, spirituality, you see. So I had to play the game a little bit. That's it. Have a good day. Let me know if you have any questions, and we'll address that. Take care.